I went through a divorce, and I looked at my finances and pretty much right off the bat understood that I was not going to be able to pay off the amount that I owed. So I knew that I had to do something about the debt and get rid of that. It wasn't realistic to think that I was going to pay that off.
Debt settlement right now is our most popular program because most of America is terribly in debt. We are able to help people with their student loans, with their credit cards, with credit lines, repossessions. Anything that's unsecured, we can reduce it by 60 to 80%. In some cases, we can eliminate it entirely off your credit report. If they're already behind, we can settle and get them cleaned off their credit report really fast. If they're current, we have to wait at least 90 to 120 days. But during that time, we're very unique because we send out cease and desist letters and we stand in between the client and the creditor. They can't harass them, they can't come to their home, they can't go to their workplace, they can't put liens on their houses, they can't do any of the things that they're threatening to do because it's illegal. Every month, that money gets put into that account and it starts accumulating into a larger and larger bank account. When we have enough money, we can then go to the creditors and start negotiating. When we've got a really good negotiation, we know we've hit rock bottom pricing, then we go back to our client and say, hey, we're able to settle your $30,000 credit card for $10,000. Do you accept? And normally that money's already in their escrow account, or we set it up on a long payment plan to get that paid off. From the moment they enroll in debt settlement, there's no more interest and there's no more penalties. They're not going to be harassed. We do a money-back guarantee so that if any debt ever occurred that we couldn't settle, they'd get their money back for our management fees for that debt. As each debt's settled, we have it cleaned off their credit report so that their credit should be improving as they go through the program. Our goal is to have their credit repaired and better than it ever was before they entered our program. And so then that way we know we've completely, done our job. And at the end, delivered a client that's completely debt-free with fantastic credit and new spending habits and hopefully some investment money and emergency money on the side as well.
I do have 3 children, and it is important for them, first of all, now to see that I do take responsibility for my situation, and that I do fulfill my obligations, even if that means that we are negotiating and settling for a more acceptable amount. And to just appreciate that, when there's money, that's great, and when there isn't, then you don't spend it. And at first it was like, well, why don't you just put it on a credit card? And I'm like, because, let me tell you why. We're not doing it that way anymore. It's not wise. So I think that it's been a good example for them.